For years, European countries have been buying African resources for only pennies. Whatever was discovered in Africa, be it oil, gold, rare earth minerals, or uranium, European countries would come and buy them at thousands of times lower prices. It's because of history's unfair and exploitative pacts European colonizers forced African countries to accept in return for their freedom. But history is being rewritten now in Africa as Niger has raised it as a powerful county, keeping France in its place. Earlier, France used to buy uranium at only €0.80 per kilogram from Niger and sold it to other countries at prices tens of thousands of times more. But how was it done, and what's the background of the story? Let's find out. Since the coup in Niger, the international political landscape was expected to change for good and forever. Experts said that from that point on, the world's history won't be the same as it was. The power balance will change because African countries will want to keep power to them. This will be done by getting over centuries of exploitation, stopping it, and using the resources for African countries' welfare. Until now, whatever precious resource was discovered in Africa, European countries would jump and try to buy it for pennies. Secret agreements were made and resources were bought at unfairly cheap prices. As African countries were colonized, when they were about to get freedom, they were given so in return for exploitative pacts. One of the terms of the pacts has been to first ask the former colonizer to buy the resources. In other words, if gold or uranium is discovered at some site, the former colonizing power will be asked to buy it. When it buys, it does so by paying thousands of times less than the real price. This was done with Niger. France made agreements with it to buy its uranium at a cheap price. However, this has been changed as a coup has taken place in Niger, making European countries panicked as they no longer would be able to exploit. In a groundbreaking development, a leading player in the uranium industry has taken a significant step toward ensuring fair compensation for its invaluable natural resource, uranium. Numerous reports indicate that Niger's uranium company has substantially raised the price of its uranium, soaring from a mere €0.80 per kilogram to €200 per kilogram. You should know that uranium plays a key role in the green revolution, becoming a crucial source of clean energy. Not only that, but it's widely used in cancer treatment, naval propulsion, and nuclear weapons. Hence, it becomes a precious element which is not only precious today, but also in the future. France was getting it for pennies from Niger and was using it to get clean energy or to sell it, making staggering revenues. However, following the military coup in Niger, which led to the removal of President Mohamed Bazoum, uranium prices experienced a slight uptick. Now, many analysts are predicting even more substantial gains in the future. This was because everyone knew France and the world would no longer get uranium at cheap prices. Now, Niger is raising its uranium prices to capitalize on the growing demand and ensure a fair market valuation. The previous price of €0.80 per kilogram significantly lagged behind the global market rate and failed to reflect the true worth of this resource. To illustrate just how meager Niger received for its valuable uranium over the years, consider this. A French multinational group in the nuclear energy market extracted 114,046 metric tons of uranium in 2010, equating to an export value of €3.5 billion. However, Niger received only €459 million in return. Hence, Niger's decision to raise uranium pricing to align with global standards is undoubtedly fair. It was much needed decades ago, but during all these years, hurdles were created in Niger to destabilize the country and force it to think about increasing resource prices in any way. Now, as Niger will get a fair price for the uranium it will sell, the revenues could be used to invest in critical infrastructure projects and social development initiatives. Unlike earlier, when profits made through Niger's uranium found their way into France's treasury, from now on, they will come back to Niger. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. This price increase could set a precedent for the global uranium market, influencing pricing strategies and negotiations in other uranium-rich countries. France, a significant buyer of Nigerian uranium, may express concerns about the price hike. However, while it might cause alarm in France, it also opens possibilities for a more balanced partnership and has the potential to positively impact the global uranium market. This proactive move not only strengthens Nigeria's economic prospects, but also serves as a compelling example for other resource-rich African nations. It encourages them to pursue greater economic autonomy and long-term stability by demanding equitable resource pricing and diversifying their economic strategies. Niger has the upper hand to decide the price and make Europe buy it. Because Europe, and especially France, is dependent on Niger's uranium. It's because since every European country could get uranium at the cheapest prices, more attention was paid to the supply chain with Niger. Now, as prices have increased, France has no other option but to buy uranium at a fair price, which aligns with the international set price. Let's say if it wants to show its anger and find another option, it will still have to pay a higher price because, in the international market, the price is already high. Staying with Niger would be the best idea as it offers a well-established supply chain. In France, there are growing concerns about the dependency on Niger's uranium and the potential consequences for energy independence. But it cannot really do anything. Uranium is a crucial resource for powering French nuclear plants and has been sourced from Niger for over 4 decades, primarily through the French nuclear fuel cycle group Orano, formerly known as Areva. Orano, a multinational company that is 90% owned by the French state, operates 3 uranium mines in Niger, with only 1 currently in production. The reason why France cannot leave Niger's uranium, even if it is offered at high prices, is simple. France has invested in Niger's mining sector. Perhaps that's an edge Niger can use and leverage to keep France as a market to sell its uranium. Orano owns 63.4% of the Air mines, 59% of the Akokan mining site, and 63.52% of the Imuraran mine. All these mines, whose major share are owned by French companies, are still located in Niger, making France dependent. Instead of shifting to another uranium seller, it will be wise for France to stay in Niger and start following Niger's law to have a fair trade. Hence, despite the recent political developments in Niger, Orano has announced its intention to continue its mining activities. In other words, it will buy uranium at new increased prices. But this was not an easy task. The commander in Niger had to first make France know what Niger is capable of. Hence, upon assuming power, the military halted uranium exports and later issued a 48-hour ultimatum for the French envoy, Ambassador Sylvain Ité, to leave the country. This was done so France could know now the time of exploiting Niger like war booty was over. Mohamed Lawan Gaya, a former Nigerian energy minister and the former Secretary General of the Organization of African Petroleum Producers, expressed the widespread sentiment, stating, "Everyone in Niger feels this partnership is very unequal." Gaya added that if Niger were to decide not to export uranium to France, it would have a profound impact on France but minimal consequences for the Nigerian economy. He emphasized that nearly 90% of Niger's population lacks access to electricity, and the exploitative pricing means that Niger receives insufficient income from its exports. That was the reason behind Niger's poverty. Despite being one of the most resource-rich countries, Niger was one of the poorest. It created a paradox-like situation where we are confused to understand how this works. Well, it's because whatever resources Niger produced used to end up in France and other European countries at cheap prices. The extra profits, which were actually of Niger's people, went to European countries' coffers, but no longer after this point on. Do you think other African countries should follow suit and say no to Africa's exploitation? Should other African countries join Niger and form a powerful alliance to get reparation from European countries? Let us know what you think about that in the comment section right below. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.